The boy who saw the world. Every life begins with a whisper, a quiet breath, a seed no one believes in except God. My name is Oliver Nshom. Born on the 1st of January, a new year, a new beginning. No one ever knew that the boy arriving that day will dream beyond the village sky. I grew up in Uku, where fog hugs the mountain like a mother who refuses to let go. We did not have much, but we had hope. Parents who planted courage in our hearts like maize in red soil. 2006 Form 2 GPHS Tolon, Uku. The question was simple. What do you want to become? When my turn came, I said it. I want to become a global speaker. The room went silent. Then, laughter. They laughed because destiny often sounds foolish before it becomes undeniable. Ask yourself quietly, have you ever been laughed at for a dream only you could see? I did not argue. I carried the dream quietly. I practiced in empty classrooms, spoke to imaginary crowds, rehearsed while working village parts, while others saw a boy. God saw a voice in training. From Uku to Bamenda, from Cameroon to Africa, from Africa to the world, India, Spain, Rwanda, United States, Canada, South Africa. The same boy they laughed at now standing on global stages. I never became a medical doctor, but I learned how to diagnose fear, treat broken confidence, and prescribe courage.
Today, I've been traveling around the world for the past 15 years, speaking in conferences and workshops and seminars and auditoriums and high school programs. And I have reached out thousands of people with my speaking.
Maybe I became a doctor after all. On this birthday, I celebrate grace, I celebrate destiny, and the God who took a village boy and gave him a global voice. If you are watching this, believe again. Your beginning does not limit your future. My name is Oliver Nshom, and this is only the beginning.
Hey everybody, this is James Kernan with Kernan Consulting. Good to be with you. I'm here with my good friend Oliver, and what a blessing he has been here in the United States. This week, my company hosted the Millionaire Mastermind Peer Group live meeting, and for the second time, Oliver was here in the States sharing his passion to help others become better public speakers. So just wanted to say thank you on behalf of Kernan Consulting for you being here. And Oliver's been a student of Kernan Consulting for years, and we're very proud of who he's become. We endorse Oliver in all that he's doing, and we're happy to be a part of that, rolling out your mission and vision all around the world.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And it sounds like you have some other speaking engagements here in the United States, so good luck with that. And I look forward to working with you and doing more of that work here in the United States.
I want to say thank you for this opportunity. And please, this is a great man here. Follow him, support him, whatever you can do for him, it will come back to you. He is doing a great work here. Left homeland, came to this country, and is doing everything to build others, to challenge others to be better than themselves, to help them with their public speaking, to help them be able to represent themselves and the vision that has been given to them. So this is the man.
John Itaye. Today we celebrate a special brother of mine, a living example of what is possible when purpose meets action. Happy birthday, Oliver Shaw. Oliver is an international public speaker based in the United States of America, a JFC soldier, and my co-host in the American Dream podcast. He is also the founder of the Cameroon Speakers Association, CANASA. When I met Oliver, what caught my attention the most is that he refused limits. He took his voice from Cameroon to the global stage and turned it to impact, leadership, and opportunity for others. Happy birthday, brother. God bless you. Okay.
Oliver Nshom is a leader international speaker. I met him some years back in secondary school. What came to my notice is because Oliver likes to read. Any small articles he would like to read. And that is why has made him to become global today. Because his voice is his capital. In 2017, we reconnected back again. that he started a talent incubator program at the CBC radio. And this program, he invites persons, small, young, and old, to be able to listen to their story and interview them. Oliver is a mentor, he's a coach, and he's an author of about 10 books, with Skyrocket Public Speaking being the top-notch book that you can get it and read it and improve your communication. He's the CEO of the Texas Institute of Public Speaking that trains speakers and coaches all around the world. He is a founder of Canasa. He is a founder of Talks USA. I just want to let you know that Oliver loves what he does. He's so passionate about it, and he can give it all for it. Because
so when you want to create rapport as a speaker,
he is the
you must maintain
champion
eye
of
contact.
Africa.
Because when you're talking to someone who doesn't look at you
that
directly in the
everyone
eyes,
would
like the
desire.
person is not sure what he's saying.
A coach like no
And most
other.
of the time, when you're not sure what you're saying, you're lying. So eye contact, very, very important. When there's eye contact, there's rapport. When there's rapport, there's bonding. When there's bonding, there's connection. When there's connection, there's transmission of information. So eye contact is very important. As a speaker, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as an executive, maintain eye contact with the people you're talking to there. That's very important.
I had so much fun learning from Oliver today. His passion is truly contagious, and if you're a speaker looking to tap into some of that passion, but also the strategies to become a speaker, an international speaker, you should definitely attend one of Oliver's talks.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sala Power, a medical doctor and holistic natural healer for cardiovascular health and blood pressure balance. For years, I have consumed the inspirational and transformational content of Oliver Nshom, seeing how, applying his own principles in his life, he was able to move from a national to an international speaker and thought leader. Gave me no doubt that he was the right person to help me expand my influence through public speaking. My expectations were to master the art of public speaking, gain clarity on how to structure my message, and develop the strategies to penetrate into the international public speaking space. Oliver Nshom helped me to go beyond my expectations and to bring out my unique speaking voice. And I am happy to share that at this moment I have 2 pending international speaking gigs, one in South America and one in Africa. This training, however, did not come cheap. I chose to pay a premium price for this training. And one thing that made me to pay a premium price for this training is what Oliver Nshom told me at our initial enrollment call. Oliver Nshom said, I could do this for you for free, but if I do it for free, I will not be helping you. Because you will only attract people who will want you to do things for them for free. Instead, I'm going to charge you a premium price so that you can be able to charge others a premium price. I can categorically say that that was a single mental shift I needed to transform my own personal business. By paying a premium price for this training, it gave me the confidence to charge others up to 10 times what I was charging before, and people are actually valuing my services even much more. Thank you, Oliver Nshom.
So when you want to create rapport as a speaker, you must maintain eye contact. Because when you're talking to someone who doesn't look at you directly in the eyes, like the person is not sure what he's saying. And most of the time, when you're not sure what you're saying, you're lying. So eye contact, very, very important. When there's eye contact, there's rapport. When there's rapport, there's bonding. When there's bonding, there's connection. When there's connection, there's transmission of information. So eye contact is very important. As a speaker, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as an executive, maintain eye contact with the people you're talking to there. That's very important. So when you want to create rapport as a speaker, you must maintain eye contact. Because when you're talking to someone who doesn't look at you directly in the eyes, like the person is not sure what he's saying. And most of the time, when you're not sure what you're saying, you're lying. So eye contact, very, very important. When there's eye contact, there's rapport. When there's rapport, there's bonding. When there's bonding, there's connection. When there's connection, there's transmission of information. So eye contact is very important. As a speaker, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as an executive, maintain eye contact with the people you're talking to there. That's very important. So when you want to create rapport as a speaker, you must maintain eye contact. Because when you're talking to someone who doesn't look at you directly in the eyes, like the person is not sure what he's saying. And most of the time, when you're not sure what you're saying, you're lying. So eye contact, very, very important. When there's eye contact, there's rapport. When there's rapport, there's bonding. When there's bonding, there's connection. When there's connection, there's transmission of information. So eye contact is very important. As a speaker, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as an executive, maintain eye contact with the people you're talking to there. That's very important. So when you want to create rapport as a speaker, you must maintain eye contact. Because when you're talking to someone who doesn't look at you directly in the eyes, like the person is not sure what he's saying. And most of the time when you're not sure what you're saying, you're lying. So eye contact, very, very important. When there's eye contact, there's rapport. When there's rapport, there's bonding. When there's bonding, there's connection. When there's connection, there's transmission of information. So eye contact is very important. As a speaker, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as an executive, maintain eye contact with the people you're talking to there. That's very important. So when you want to create rapport as a speaker, you must maintain eye contact. Because when you're talking to someone who doesn't look at you directly in the eyes, like the person is not sure what he's saying. And most of the time when you're not sure what you're saying, you're lying. So eye contact, very, very important. When there's eye contact, there's rapport. When there's rapport, there's bonding. When there's bonding, there's connection. When there's connection, there's transmission of information. So eye contact is very important. As a speaker, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as an executive, maintain eye contact with the people you're talking to there. That's very important. All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Let us know on the comment section what lesson did you pick from the story, from the documentary. What was your take home from the documentary? Okay, just write in the comment section and let me know what you learned from the documentary. Okay, let's know what you learned from the documentary and from the stories that you heard. This is exactly 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, and this is 8 p.m. West Africa time zone. I don't know exactly what time you have in your country right now, and I just want to let you know. Well, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, let's go. All right. Like you know already, I'm excited to be here. My name is Nshom, and I'm going to be walking you today through some very, very exciting thing. Okay, but before we dive in, just comment on the comment section. Let's know which part of the world you are watching us from. I want you to let us know which part of the world you are joining and you are, of course, watching us from. Even as we dive deeper into this conversation. All right. We have some people joining us from different parts of the world. Okay, so good. Some people joining us from the back end and some are joining us from the front end. All right. Welcome, everybody. And as you join the conversation, let us know which part of the world you're actually joining us from. Okay. Let's keep track of that. All right. Today, all right. So we have a couple of people joining us from different parts of the world, and Zigzag, you're welcome. Welcome, and you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, we're going to be discussing exactly on how can you turn yourself, how can you be able to speak and create impact in the lives of people and make money, even if you're just starting. Okay, thank you, Godwill, watching from Bamida, Cameroon. How can you be able to speak and make a living, create impact in the lives of people, even when you are just starting? How is that possible? And today we're going to be looking at 4 things, okay? So my presentation is divided into 4 key parts. My presentation is divided into 4 key parts. And so the first part of my talk is how to position yourself as a speaker. How to position yourself as a speaker. Then the second part, which is very important and vital, is how to get booked as a speaker. A lot of people are speaking, but they don't know how to get booked. How can you get booked to speak and you are paid for as a speaker? How is that possible? And the third part of this webinar is going to be looking at something very exciting. Guess what? How to turn your story into income. How do you convert your story into income? And I really mean it. Okay, you just have to stay with me and then you get all of that. And finally, we are going to be looking at something very exciting. 3 mistakes that keep many speakers broke. All right, you call yourself a speaker. People know that you're a speaker. Your wife knows you're a speaker. Your children know that you're a speaker. Your neighbors know that you're a speaker. Your leaders know that you're a speaker. Your colleagues know that you're a speaker. Yet you are broke. What is happening? That everybody knows that you're a speaker, yet you're not able to make money from speaking. There is something wrong somewhere. There is a script somewhere that is not correct, that we have to rewrite the script. How is that possible? All right, how is that possible? So get your notepad and we'll get, okay? If you don't have your notepad yet, get one. Get your pen, get your pencil, get everything that it is necessary so we are able to go, all right? So for those who will be coming late, the room is almost getting full already. And so if you come late, you might not be able to get into the room, okay? So stay with us wherever you are and we are good to go. Before we dive deeper, I have been doing this speaking for quite some time right now, and I just wanted to have a look, have a picture of who I was over some 16, 15 years ago. Who was Oliver Nshom? What was I doing? All right. So have a picture of it. Just have a look at this. That's why I always said, and that's what I said in my previous video. We go to school not to be employed. We go to school because of two reasons. The first of such reason is to become creative. And the second is to become innovative. And the third is to see how we can change the world. You see, when you're creative, innovative, automatically you can change the world. Very important. So you see, that is me. That is the little Oliver Nshom. You can call Oliver Nshom Jr. That was me some over 14, 15, 16 years ago. I was speaking in my own small way in my country there, Cameroon. And that was in the beautiful city of Douala. For those who are watching from Douala, that was me, friend. What was I doing? I was speaking. And who was I speaking to? I was speaking to the camera. I never knew who was watching at me, wherever you were watching me from. I don't know. But I was speaking. At the age of 21, 22, I was doing it. Like I was killing it my own way. How is that possible? That is the power of what we're going to be talking tonight, okay? That was Oliver Nshom Jr. That was myself when I was still younger, and I was doing this thing. And this is the same thing I've been doing for long, over 16 years. Still the same thing. And the things I'm going to be sharing with you are the things I have tried and tested again and again and again. And today they are working for me. And if they can work for me, they will definitely work for you, my friend. And so you've seen my short video when I started these things more than 1.5 decades ago. And I've not like gotten my stuff from ChatGPT. By then, we never had ChatGPT. Those are things I have personally experienced. I have practiced all of them and they are actually working. But they did not just start working today. I mean, I made mistakes. I failed again and again. And I discovered the secret code to getting these things working for me. And I believe strongly, like I said, if they are working for me, they will equally be working for you. All right? So let's go. How do you position yourself as a speaker in such a way that you can get paid to speak? Three things. Now, for those of you joining us from different parts of the world, please, when you join us, mute your camera, okay? For those of you joining us in the live stream here on the stream here, once you join the webinar, mute your camera, okay? Thank you so much. And so, friend, 3 things on how you can position yourself as a speaker and begin to have paid speaking opportunities. Whether you are in Africa or in America or in Europe or in Asia, whether you are in one suburb somewhere in Cameroon, or you are in the city like Douala or Yaoundé or Bamenda, or you are in one part of Virginia that many people have not yet visited or discovered yet, or you are in the heart of Rochester or in the heart of Michigan or Texas or Los Angeles, if you practice these three things I want to share with you, I want to assure you, you will be able to start getting paid speaking opportunities. Okay. Remember, it's about positioning. So, what's the first thing? The first thing is really something that many people ignore, and they just believe that the magic can happen without them practicing this first thing. Guess what? Number one, you have to speak. I want you to write it down. We're talking about how to position yourself to get paid speaking gig. The first thing you have to do is you have to speak. Many people want to be paid to speak and they're not speaking. And the question I have for you is, how do you expect people to discover you? How do you expect people to discover you if you're not speaking? How do you expect people to pay you to speak while you're not speaking? And what do you expect them to pay you about? How can you be exclaiming and claiming and expecting every other person to pay you to speak and you're not speaking? Now, when I say you have to speak, I don't really literally mean that you have to be going everywhere and speaking and opening your mouth. When you get up from bed, you jump out of your bed, you start speaking. That's not what I'm saying, my friend. Now, you have to ask yourself, where are the places around my community, around my country, where I can be able to share my story, where I can be able to share that message that I have, that is burning in me, so people can be inspired, people can be blessed, people can be empowered, people can be equipped. Everybody has a message. Everybody has a message because everybody has a story. And so if you have a story, therefore you have a message. All you have to do is to polish up the message, is to fine-tune the message, okay? Is to check it out and make sure that it's ready for people to consume. So everybody who has a story has a message. And so go back to your local churches, to your men's group, to your youth group, to your women's group. Advocate to speak there. This is amazing. You know, a few days ago, my wife sent me a short video of her speaking in a women's Larry, in a women's group somewhere in Africa, because she advocated for 5 minutes, for 2 minutes to speak there. And she just tried. She never knew whether they would give her the time or not. And boom, they gave her 5 minutes and she spoke. That's what I'm talking about. If you belong to an imam, to a Muslim group, to a Christian group, to whatever religious way you are believing or practicing, there are people that gather. And these are opportunities for you to speak. You don't have to charge them. They don't need to pay you. But you're speaking to test your keynote, to test your message, if they will resonate with it. You're speaking to learn. You're speaking to practice. That's how you begin. And if you're not speaking in your men's group, in your youth group, in your women's group, if you're not speaking in those community groups where you belong, there's no way your message will be known out there. There's no way people will discover you. There's no way people will discover you by magic. You have to show yourself out there so people can be able to discover you. And one of the best ways that you can actually show yourself out there for people to discover you is to speak. That's why you must start asking yourself today, what can I deliver and where can I deliver this message? Do we have universities? We have schools. We have high schools and secondary schools or elementary schools, kindergarten schools, graduation ceremonies that I can speak and share my message there. If you do, then my friend, go ahead and start speaking, because you don't have to wait for anybody. Stop waiting for stages, because no one will ever give you a stage if you don't show yourself. And how do you prove yourself? How do you show yourself? You show yourself worthy by speaking. So right now, I want you to write down 3 places that you want to immediately reach out to the leaders and advocate to speak there. It could be your church group, your men's group, youth group, women's group. It could be your community group. It could be a place of work, where you work. You want to talk to your manager, to your leader. If you can be able to speak in some of the upcoming end of year party, end of year retreat, start at the beginning of the year retreat, beginning of the year party. Many organizations around the world where you are working, for those who are working right now, you have that. So you can actually advocate to speak there. And that is how you start building your case. That is how you start writing your message. When you speak, don't stay numb. Get feedback. Ask people what resonated during my presentation. What resonated with you during my talk? What did you pick out from my talk? Which part of the talk was making sense to you? Which part helped you? That is how you build your case. And that is what I mean by speaking. So if you are looking forward to get paid gigs, you have to be speaking. Okay? So before you get the message out there, you have to work on it, make sure that it is good and people can consume. How do you do that? How do you know? You have to test it with your children, with your wife, with your friends, with your neighbors, with your roommates, whoever that you have around. It could just be one person, it could be two people, it could be three people, whoever. You got to test it. That's the first thing. You got to speak, my friend. The second thing you have to start doing is that you have to be able to solve a real world problem. Okay? You have to be able to solve a real world problem. One of the reasons why they don't pay you to speak as a speaker is because you're not solving any problem with your keynote. How do you expect people to pay you for a problem that you have not solved? How do you expect people to pay you for doing something that they have not felt the value they are getting from what you have done? It's not magic. It doesn't work like that. That's not how things work. So my question for you is, what problem is your keynote solving? I want you to write on the comment section. The problem my keynote is solving is XYZ. All right. You have to have your problem statement very clearly stated. And after you've written down your problem statement, you need to come out with your position statement. I help X to get Y using Z. All right. I help aspiring speakers to land speaking gigs using my 3 framework. All right. Who do you help? What are you using to help these people? What result do they get after you help them? So you have to come up with your position statement, and your position statement is going to clearly define to your event organizers, to your speakers bureaus, okay, to your invitees what they can benefit from your talk. So you have to get very clear. And what that means is that you have to be solving a problem that is pressing. You have to be solving an urgent problem. So the question is, what is that problem you are actually solving with your speaking, with your keynote? It's not just about speaking anyhow, because everybody can speak, but what are you solving? What problem are you solving with your speaking? So number one, you have to be able to speak. Number two, you must solve a problem. All right. My presentations around the world, they solve problems to people. All right. I get a bunch of testimonies of people that said, I listen to you and the way I see life is different now. Some even just read my post. They say, you just inspire me. You just changed my life. I'm seeing things from different perspective. And since then, my life has totally catapulted. What problem are you solving with your keynote? And finally, on how to position yourself as a paid speaker is that you have to be able to network. Okay. No matter how well you speak, no matter how well you're able to solve problems, friend, if you don't connect with the right people, network in the right networks and with the right people, the right event organizers, I bet you will not get yourself out there to the point that they pay you to speak. Remember, we're talking about how to position yourself as a speaker in a way that you can be paid to speak. All right. So what is my point? My point is very clear. My point is that as a speaker who has a message that deserves to be paid, you have to belong to the right networks. Do you know how event organizers actually what they do to book speakers? There's a protocol that they have to go through to book a speaker. How does that work? They ask themselves, who do we know in our circle that can deliver this keynote for this event we're organizing? If they don't get somebody within their circle, they'll ask, who do we know outside that can do this job? When they don't get somebody out there, they now start doing Google searching, ChatGPT, searching on YouTube, searching on LinkedIn, who is a speaker who can do this job? Why? Because they want to get the right person for the job. So the question is that if you don't show yourself out there when they're searching for you, how would they find you? If you don't belong to their networks, you're not friends of their friends, how would they discover you that you're a good person for this gig? All right. So it is so vital to be able to network strategically. And like I always say, when you go out there to network, you don't have to be interesting, but you have to be interested. When someone is interesting, the person is like, oh, this is what I've achieved. Oh, this is how far I've gone. Oh, this is the weight of knowledge I have. People don't care what you've achieved. People don't care how far you've gone. People don't care about your success. But they care when you care about them. So when you go out there to network, stop talking about yourself and start asking questions about people. Ask people, what is the greatest thing you want to achieve this month, this year? And how can I help? Before you notice, people pour out a lot. And it's in the course of that conversation where you're adding value to them in these networks that they will want to see how they can also support and add value to you. But when you come with the mindset of, you must hear me talk, you must listen to me, I'm dominating the conversation. No, you don't have to dominate the conversation. You have to be able to listen
to people. The only way you can get opportunities out there is when you listen to people. That's why listening is a skill. When you are able to listen to people's challenges and problems and then help them to provide solutions, genuinely help them to provide solutions, that's how you get opportunity to go beyond just speaking, but getting paid to speak. So there are a lot of people around the world now going through depression, trauma, a lot of challenges, but they're looking for people who can listen to them. And so as a speaker, you have to be that person who can actually listen to these people, even as they're able to share their challenges, to share whatever thing they are going through. All right. So the question I have for you is, are you a good listener? Are you going to listen to people to be able to identify their challenges so you can be able to provide solutions? And that is how hopefully they can introduce you to other people who you could help them with your keynote. All right. So my friend, we just finished the first part of this conversation. I talked about how to position yourself to get paid to speak as a keynote speaker, even when you're starting and nobody knows you. So the first thing is you have to speak. The second thing is you have to be able to solve real life problems. And the last thing is you must be able to network strategically. And the secret to network strategically is that you have to stop being interesting and become interested, because people don't care what you know, where you've gone to, what you've achieved. They care what you think about them, how you feel about them, that empathy, that connection, that wanting to know more about them. That's what would be able to help you win when it comes to networking, my friend. All right, I've done this over again and again. I don't know what I'm talking about. And so let's dive straight to the second part of our webinar, which is going to be very exciting to me also. How to get book. How to get book. Oh man, many people have been waiting for this. How to get book as a speaker. Right now, as I talk, I have been booked for a couple of conferences coming up, June and May, July. I cannot wait to fly in and speak in those states, in those places. And so, how to get booked? 3 things. If you start doing these things as from today, I want to assure you, you will get booked even in the next 2 to 3 months. Number 1, you have to be able to volunteer. Many speakers believe that if you just get out there and you tell people that you're a speaker, that boom, you start getting invitations to speak. It's a lie. I've been in this game for a long time. I know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not going to work that way. You have to do the job. You have to do the work. You have to burn the calories. And by doing that, simple, you have to be able to volunteer. Who are the people doing events in your state? Who are the people doing events in your country? Who are the people doing events in your continent? The kind of events where you want to speak there. Who are these people? And then you have to start, even as a speaker, volunteer in this event to help them organize this event, to help them run this event, to help them achieve those goals. Why is it important? Because one of the best way for you to be known, to be discovered by those people is to volunteer and work with them. Advocate to speak for free, to introduce the speakers, to MC the event, advocate to do whatever thing that will help the event to succeed. And after the event, to tell the people, hey, this is what I do. If it's possible, I'll be grateful if you can give me a slot, even for 5 minutes and 10 minutes in the next conference, in the next session, so I could share something. That is how it starts. And if you don't volunteer, you miss the whole thing. I've volunteered again and again for so many events, and I never regret. Most of the time when I volunteer, even if I don't have an opportunity to speak, I always have an opportunity to have a client who can actually hire me to do stuff for them. And some months ago, my mentor, Professor Madison Garvison, was doing an event in Florida, and I bought a flight ticket. I flew. I flight here. I left Minnesota. I was flown to Florida, not as a speaker, but as a volunteer in my mentor's event. Okay, and so when I volunteered in that event as technical assistant, at the end of the day, one lady walked up to me, and today she's my client. I'm coaching her on the speaking part of her business. And you see, it's because I volunteered. So some of us, we don't want to volunteer. We just want to be put on stages. That's not how it works. You have to be able to go out there, volunteer, let people know what you can do. And then, boom, that's how you get opportunity to get paid to speak, right? To get paid to sell your service, to sell your product. So you have to learn to volunteer. And volunteering has literally changed my life, changed my career, changed everything about me. because I've done things for free, and poof, from then I started doing things for free. So you have to volunteer. The second thing you have to do in order to get booked is you got to be able to upscale value. You have to be able to upscale value. This is so powerful. You know, you will not be volunteering for all your life. Okay, you'll not be volunteering for all your life. Now, when you volunteer and speak for free, the first event you've spoken, second event you've spoken, different states, different cities. Now, as more as you do the work, because a lot of speakers just think that I could just get up from my bed and go and speak. No, it's a lie. No, there's a video I'm working on how to prepare for your keynote in such a way that you will kill it, that will become the best talk you've ever done, ever. Okay, you have to watch it, because this video I talk about 5 things. One of the mistakes that you can ever make while volunteering to speak on people's stages is not to prepare well. Because when you fail to prepare well, nobody would like to give that opportunity again. Take note of what I'm saying. Because if you prepare well, imagine that you're volunteering to speak and they're not paying you. And you speak and you are one of the best speakers in that conference. They paid any other speaker, and every other speaker, they were paid, well paid, but you were not paid, though you were volunteering, you're speaking. Do you think that the next time they will still want to have you and just allow you to volunteer without paying you? I bet you they will pay you. And even if they don't pay you for that event, people will see and they will be able to perceive value in you, and they will book you and pay you. Think about that for a moment. Over 3 seconds. So there's power in volunteering. So when you're volunteering, don't just come with your C game, or your D game, your E game. No, don't even come with your B game, boy. Come with your A game. Come with your A+ game when you're volunteering. When you're volunteering on the stage as a speaker, kill it. Don't leave any chance. Kill it. Because when you kill it, even those event organizers that you're volunteering with them, they will like, how much is your fee? You will charge them for the next event. And when you come again, kill it. That is how you stand out. That is how you get booked. All right, that's how you get booked. So any opportunity you have, don't minimize it. Maximize it. Get the best out of it. Kill it. Nail it. And that is how, before you notice, your calendar will be getting filled every single month, every single quarter, every single year. And now, when you keep volunteering, what happens is that as you continue to volunteer, the time will come. 1 second. The time will come when those people that you used to volunteer with them, they will call you to come and volunteer as a speaker. When you look your calendar like this, you will notice that there is no 30 minutes. Excuse me. Let's go. There is not even 30 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes right in your calendar spare. And then you will tell them gracefully that, hey, I could have really loved to volunteer, but I'm booked to speak in China. I'm booked to speak in Japan. I'm booked to speak in Kenya, in Cameroon, in Uganda. That's when they'll know value has stepped up. Value has been added. You got? That's why it is important to upscale your value, because you will not volunteer all the time. You're volunteering to showcase what you can do. And now that you volunteered for this length of time, people have discovered you and they're not paying you to speak. And so what that means is that volunteering is not for free. You're actually paying. And the value you're paying is you're paying to market yourself. You're paying to exposure, for exposure. You're paying to be able to put yourself out there. You understand? So that's the power of volunteering. So you cannot just come out from nowhere and you want people to book you. No. People need to see you. They need to value the problem you're solving before they can bring you on their stages. And so if you don't volunteer, I bet you might not be booked to speak. So that's the first thing, you have to volunteer. Okay, by volunteering, you're speaking for free. And then as you're speaking for free, capture videos, capture pictures, capture all of these things, which you're going to use it for social proof, as I'll be explaining as we move forward. All right, so you have to volunteer, and then you have to upscale your value. And then the last thing you have to do, you have to change your flow. You got to change your flow. I love this book that Dr. Benjamin Hardy wrote, very powerful book. All right, how to 10x any other thing, how to 10x your value, and to 10x any other thing. Now, there was a time I used to speak for $100. In fact, I did my speaking career from 2010 to 2020. I was not paid up to $1,000 US. Okay, that's kind of 600,000 francs CFA. I kept on doing it. And at a certain point, I used to speak for $500, $1,000, of that. Okay, I used to speak for that very little amount of money. But I kept on changing. I started with $100, like 60,000 francs. From then, I moved to $250, to $500, to $700, to $1,000. But guess what? Right now, I charge $2,500 for my keynote, $5,000 for my keynote. Okay, and I'm going to $7,500, $10,000 for my keynote. You know why? The moment I started charging $2,500 for my keynote, I can never go back to $1,000. Never. Never. That is change of flow. The moment I started coaching people for $200 and I started coaching for $500, I don't go back to $200 coaching sessions. When I'm coaching for $2,500, I don't go back to $1,500 coaching session. Why? Because once you change your flow, you don't have to look behind again. You only keep going. And most of the time, you'll be surprised that it is when you start charging higher that you attract some particular clients. That is the magic in this coaching space, in this speaking and coaching business. That is the magic, friend. That is the magic. So you have to change your flow. How do you change your flow? You change your flow by adding more value to yourself. All right. So when you've added so much value, you've grown so much that you cannot continue charging what you used to charge. You change the flow. And then when you're growing, you change your flow because you have to grow and you must grow. Why must you change the flow? Because there are people that you're working with them that are coming behind you. You don't want to be fighting and competing with them over some little coins. You don't want to do that. So as you're moving ahead and charging more, you're giving them an opportunity to also charge what you used to charge. So it becomes like a spiral. It's a cycle. All right. Neither you're charging this, you are charging this. You have to step up. You have to step up. Because guess what? If you don't change your flow, nobody's going to change your flow for you. So the moment I changed my flow, I stopped attracting people who were beginner speakers. And I started attracting people who have been speaking for long and they wanted to scale internationally. Right now, those are the people I work with them. You see, but if I never changed my flow from, trying to charge people $200, $300 and all of that, I could have gotten to the point where I'm charging people $2,500. You have to change the flow, and I don't go back to there. If you want to pay me less than what I'm charging right now in this current flow, I will not take it. I will recommend somebody I know that can take less than what I take. I won't take it. That is a strength. So when you come to me, you know that, hey, this guy he charges higher because he's giving only premium value. So if you're not a premium client, then don't think about Oliver Nshom. That is the importance of changing your flow. And you'll be surprised, so much surprised that there are a lot of people who can only work with you in the next floor because their value is too high. All right. Their brand value is too high that they cannot pay that less. They cannot pay that less because they don't believe that you can deliver when you take that less. And so you have to think again. You have to think again. That is why you have to change your flow. So I've talked about how to get booked. And the three things I've talked about. Number one, you got to volunteer to speak for free, and then build testimonials, build videos, testimonials, build picture testimonials for exposure and for social proof. Then you have to be able to upscale your value, and finally, you have to be able to change your flow. You must change your flow because that is very crucial. To change your flow is crucial, and once you change your flow, you don't go back. So you better be careful before you change your flow because once you change your flow, you're not going back to where you used to be. All right. So you change your flow, you have to be ready to do the job. And second to the last part of our webinar, I'm going to be talking about now is how to turn your story into income and impact. Now, for many of you watching me, you know already that is exactly what I've done. I one of my greatest certifications and degrees is not the bachelor's, the master's, and the PhDs. No, I don't even have a PhD yet. One of my greatest certifications and degrees right now as I talk is just my story. And I used to tell people that your story is your greatest asset. People never used to take me serious until now. Your story is your greatest asset. So people will buy you not because you have a PhD, you have a master's, you have a bachelor. No, people don't care. A lot of people have that. There's something they can show up for that. So what distinguishes you between those who are killing it and those who are confused on how to get it done is your story. Your story is your greatest asset. So if you don't master the art of storytelling, how to tell your story by writing, by audio, by video, by live sessions, you won't get anywhere. So you want to get somewhere with your message, with your keynote, with your speaking career, you must master the art of storytelling. That's the secret. That's the key to being an impactful speaker, to being a high income and high value keynote speaker. That's the secret to being a great coach, all right? Coaching people from all around the world, from different walks of life. You must be able to master your story. What people buy, they don't buy degrees. They don't buy your background, they buy your story. So if you don't know how to articulate your story, people will always pass you by, though you are highly, highly qualified and educated, a lot of experience, but yet you're lacking this key ingredient, storytelling. Because when you tell story, people can connect and relate to the story, and that's why they want to buy from you. So you must be able to master your story, my friend. You must be able to master your story. And then that's the first thing to do on how to change your flow, on how to be able to turn your story into income. The first thing to do is you have to perfect your story with the help of a coach. A lot of people, I think I love this first point. A lot of people have stories they don't know how to tell. They tell it the wrong way. There's a way you tell your story and people never like to see you again. All right? There's what we call the story act. All right? So when you want to start your story, you don't start your story with you succeeding. Start your story how you feel. Okay? You start your story how you feel. You start it at the valley, and then you go up to the mountain, and then you take people back to the valley, and then you go up to the mountain. For instance, never you tell a story of a failure if you don't have the other side of the successful story. So you don't tell people that you fail in school all the time while you're still in school failing. No, people don't love this kind of stories. Don't tell people that you had an issue with your health and yet you have not had healings and deliverance and health transformation. Don't tell people that you had issues with your relationship while your relationship is not standing. People don't like stories like that. So if you want to tell a story of transformation, because when you tell people that I used to be this and I did this to become that, that is impact. That is where transformation comes. And when you listen to people who tell a story, at the end of the day, they don't tell any transformation that has happened. It's boring. You don't want to catch them again. You see them, you beat them very well. You don't want that to happen to you. You don't want people to perceive you like that. Somebody who tells stories and there's no point of connection. There's no point of transformation. So the intersection with the storytelling framework is that you must achieve success in that failure before you share this failure. This is so interesting. I want to say that again. If you have not achieved some transformation that people can see physically, visibly in that failure, don't share it. Don't tell that story. Don't tell the story, irrespective of what it is. Don't tell people how your relationship, how your marriage is not working, and you don't have a breakthrough in that marriage. Don't do it, because people will hate you for life. Don't come and pour your struggles and your pains on Facebook, on the internet. How you're going through challenges in your life, in whatever you're doing, your job, your relationship, why you have not had a breakthrough. People come to social media to have fun, to have entertainment. So don't unentertain them. They will hate you. And this is what destroys brands. Because as a speaker, if you must make it big in the speaking industry, you have to focus and develop and perfect your personal branding. That is so important. So how people perceive you, how people see you all the time is very important. They will not book you on pity. So if you're throwing pity parties on the social media, on the internet, on your website, people will not get you. They will not see you as a serious person who really means business, what he or she is doing. So be careful that you don't just throw yourself out there and start pouring out everything that's happening in your life to people. People don't need that, because every other person has a struggle that he or she is going through. Every other person has some troubles and challenges that they're going through. And then most of the time, they're not even really interested in your challenges or hard things are not working for you. They want you to inspire them, to wear them. They want you to share something that can uplift their spirit. And if you have some challenges, don't go to social media. Go to a therapy. Let the therapy help you to transform your situation before you ever share that. All right. So this is so important. Remember, we're talking about how to turn your story into income and impact. There's no way you can turn a story that has not gotten a breakthrough, a transformation into income and impact. People will not pay you to come and board them. Okay. So the first thing to do is you got to perfect that story with the coach. And that's exactly why all around the world, people hire me to coach them to bring their stories to life, to share their stories on stages. That's exactly what I do. So we have so many other coaches out there. I actually got a coach, an amazing coach, Brian from Spain, who worked with me to get my story out there, to perfect my story. And I hired him, So you've got to hire somebody who can be able to help you polish your story and bring it out there. Because if you bring it out there and it's not hired, it's so well perfected, people might not love that. People might not love that. And so the second thing, when you want to do with bringing your story out there, look for a platform. Look for a platform. That platform could be a TV platform. It could be a podcast. It could be your social media handle, your TikTok, your Instagram, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, whatever. And then start sharing the story there, because that's where people discover you. And after you've gotten a platform, look for a community of people who do the kind of things, who share stories, and then advocate to share your story in that community. Advocate in their platforms and on their platforms. Share your story with them. And they will start learning about your story. They will start getting inspired. And as you're sharing, you're getting feedback. When you share, you get feedback right from when you started working with your coach. When you get the feedback, you check the feedback. Come back and share. Get feedback. Analyze the feedback. Make sense out of it. Come back and share the story. That's how you get out there. And you finally start having opportunities to actually get earnings or paid for the story and to create impact in the lives of the people. Okay, so number one, you have to be able to prepare your story with the help of a coach. I remember a coach, not a mentor. There's a difference between a coach and a mentor. So I'm talking about a coach here, not a mentor. And then number two, you must be able to get platforms like podcasts and TV interviews, TV platforms, communities where your story can be able to be heard, where you can share it. And finally, you have to leverage your story. You have to leverage your story. How do you leverage your story? To leverage your story, you have to constantly work on the story. And as you share the story, the areas on which people resonate so much with them, that is how you pivot from those areas people can resonate more with. You pivot from that point. All right. So I had so many stories. So one of the stories that actually stood out for me, thank you so much, Joe, for following. One of the stories that stood out for me when I share the story is my journey from Africa to the United States, especially in the United States. That's a story that many people are very excited to hear. Okay, so how did I know that? Because I shared the story, people listen to it, and that part of it really resonated with a lot of people. And how you're able to set up a company in the United States where you coach people from all around the world. That story is what people love to hear. What did you do? How did it happen? Okay, that's how I'm leveraging on that part of the story to get more gigs, to get more coaching clients, and to speak on more stages. That's exciting. All right, so I have a speaking gig in Georgia next month, and my host is actually a home ministry, and they're doing a great job. The story of how you move from Cameroon to the United States is exciting. It really excited them, and that could be one of the reasons why they had to book me to come and speak in their leadership conference. So you have to be able to leverage on your story, because people resonate so much with stories than statistics and facts and quote. People love stories and quote. So you don't have to focus your presentation more on logic. People love right brain thinking. People not left brain thinking, right? So you have to be able to understand which part of your story is really intriguing that people love to hear, and then work hard on that part of your story and tell more of it. And that was it of how to turn your story into impact and to earn from it. All right. And finally, friend, we're looking at 3 mistakes that keep most speakers broke. All right, 3 mistakes that keep most speakers broke. All right. So if you're still listening right now, I want you to comment on the comment section webinar. All right. Webinar, wherever you're watching this from, just comment webinar. Okay. Now let's dive deeper, even as you begin to comment webinar. 3 mistakes that keep most speakers broke. Really, really broke. Your parents know that you're a speaker. Your wife probably know that you're a speaker. Your kids know that you're a speaker. Your colleagues know that you're a speaker. But you're not speaking. You are broke. All right? You are broke. Thank you, Edda. All right? Watching from Facebook. You are still broke. What is happening? Everybody know that you're a speaker, but yet you are broke. What is happening? What is happening? All right? So let's discuss these 3 mistakes as we wrap up with that podcast or that webinar. So the first mistake that keep many speakers broke is that you don't have any service to offer. No service to offer. One of the reasons why they book you as a speaker is because you have clarity of what you talk about. How do I know that you have clarity? The first thing I ask a speaker, anybody that calls himself a speaker or herself a speaker, when I meet you, the first question I ask you, what is your position statement? For instance, my position statement is I help aspiring speakers and established speakers to be able to get paid to speak using my coaching framework, right? That is for the speaking, for the coaching part of it. For conferences, I help event organizers deliver compelling presentations that transform the lives and the destinies of their audience so they can be able to be more relevant in their generation. All right, that is a position statement. And so when you pitch this out, people know that, hey, this is the speaker we're looking for, right? So that's an example of a position statement that you can. So you have to be able to have clarity on what you talk about. What is your position statement? So why should people hire you to speak in the event? Why should people hire you? So you must have a compelling statement, a compelling paragraph, a compelling note that states very well on your LinkedIn, on your Facebook, on your website that I help X to achieve Y using Z. That is a position statement. And any speaker who wants to get paid to speak must have a position statement because that's what makes you different. All right. So you don't just go around gallivanting around and saying you're a speaker. Speak about what? You must have a position statement that tells people exactly the problem you solve with your speaking, with your story, with your framework, with your keynote. Right? You must have a position statement because people buy value, they don't buy noise. All right, and that will not be possible if you're not visible. That's why I keep saying invisibility is expensive in this economy, and visibility is the currency. That's why thousands of students and millions graduate from school every single year from university. 3 years down the line, they are still struggling to get jobs. They graduate with certificates, with dreams and expectations, but 3 years down the line, they're still struggling to get jobs. It's because they're not visible. Are they lazy? No, they're not lazy. They're very hardworking. Are they not intelligent? No, they are very intelligent. But what is stopping them is simply because they are not visible. So visibility is a currency, and not to be visible in this economy right now is expensive. So if you must do everything to make yourself valuable and searchable and relevant, you must be able to be visible. Let people know that you exist. Let people know that this is what you do. And they're not buying because when the time comes they need you, they know where to get you. So people buy value, they don't buy not. So the question is, what value do you have? Are you bringing on the table? So that's the first mistake that many speakers are making and is keeping them broke. Okay, that's the first mistake. Nobody. You have to have what you are selling. People need to know what you're selling. And the second, of course, is no social media proof. No social media proof. The moment that people hear that you're a speaker and they want to book you, what they need to know is they want you to go. They want to see you have a website, and what you talk about is clearly stated on your website. Okay, that is so important. That's so important. Of course, I have a website. All right, and if you've never visited my website, my team can always get that to you at any given time. All right. As a speaker, you need to have a website. What that means is that people should be able to go to your website and book you, because that is being professional. People should not book you by calling you alone on the phone. Most of the time, you can get very busy that you have to just send your link and then people can book you from there. So you have a website. And secondly, you need to be active on social media platforms, especially LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube. You got to be active on those platforms. On YouTube, because people will come and watch your videos to see how much value you can bring on the table. On LinkedIn, because people will need to watch exactly what you do. Your position statement, they will see that on LinkedIn. On Facebook, because people see how interactive you are. Some people might not choose Facebook, they do X, former Twitter, they can do Instagram or TikTok. People want to watch you before they validate that this is the speaker we're looking for. That is so important. So the question is, how active? I don't understand some people might not have the time to be active on social media platform, but you can hire people. There are times, again, I hire social media managers to work with me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube. I do that all the time. Not because I don't have all the time to be on social media, right? I have a family to be taking care of. I have a lot of other things to do. I have clients to be coaching. So I don't have the time to be on social media all the time. That's why I hire people to work with me so we can achieve this goal. That's why we're a team. All right. So you must have social proof. And most of the time when people get to you for a service that you're offering, it's not because they don't want you to be telling them again who you are, because they already done their research. They have done all the investigation and discover who you are. That's why they're coming to you. And so you know where to do the research on your social media handles, on your website. So you need to have social proof. Social proof is, what have you done? How can people see your work? How can people see what you've done so far and they believe that this is the job, that you can do this job for them? All right. So you have to be able to have a service you're offering. You need to be having social proof. Social proof is very, very important. All right. And finally, you need to be able to be visible. Visibility is very important. Like I said, visibility is a currency in this dispensation. Visibility is a currency. That's so dear to me. If you're not visible, you won't get out there. In networking events, you have to look for which are the best networking events you have to be part of it. That's visibility. All right. What you write on social media is also very important. A lot of people just allow people to tag them and tag them and tag them, and people just share nonsense. You cannot be calling yourself a speaker. You know, the other day, somebody reached out to me and she was like, "You need a job," and I'm like, "What can you do?" And she was like, "I can do that." I was so surprised that I just checked her social media profile. What I saw was very, very dangerous. Was so unbelievable. I did not see anything in relation to what she is doing. She told me that she's doing. I just saw junk. She's just sharing nonsense on her social media page. I'm like, so this kind of people, they don't really get jobs faster. You cannot be telling people that you're a speaker. When they go through your timeline, they don't see anything. They don't see you speaking. They don't see pictures of you speaking. They don't see videos of you talking. They don't see an engagement that you had recently. They don't see anything. They see nonsense. Like, you're just sharing things that don't even resonate with speaking. They don't relate to speaking. How do you expect them to believe you? Because I just told this that your social media handles right now is your greatest CV. People don't need curriculum details to give the job. All they need to do is to go through your social media handles and they will know what you can do. That's it. So you better mind what you post. You better mind what you share. You better mind what post to accept when you are being tagged on. Because some of these things don't connect to what you're doing. That's why I'm very careful what I validate. When you tag me, I want to see that what you're tagging me on resonate to what I'm doing. If not, I will not accept the tag. Oh boy. It's been 1 hour well spent together. And so the question I have for you now is, do you want to take your speaking career to the next level? Do you want to stop struggling alone to start getting the result and the kind of result you always love to have as a speaker? And if your answer is yes, all right, I believe that you're in the right place with the right people for a right cause. All right. Now, I wanted to just listen to, I work with people from all around the world, event planners and all of that. And some of my clients, they have been amazing and they have a lot to share. Okay, but I just wanted to listen to 2 testimonials for one of my clients. And again, I wanted to watch this first. Listen to one of my clients and hear what he has to say.
Hi, I'm Dr. Salah Power, a medical doctor and holistic natural healer for cardiovascular health and blood pressure balance. For years, I have consumed the inspirational and transformational content of Oliver Nshom, seeing how, applying his own principles in his life, he was able to move from a national to an international speaker and thought leader gave me no doubt that he was the right person to help me expand my influence through public speaking. My expectations were to master the art of public speaking, gain clarity on how to structure my message, and develop the strategies to penetrate into the international public speaking space. Oliver Nshom helped me to go beyond my expectations and to bring out my unique speaking voice. And I am happy to share that at this moment I have 2 pending international speaking gigs, one in South America and one in Africa. This training, however, did not come cheap. I chose to pay a premium price for this training. And one thing that made me to pay a premium price for this training is what Oliver Nshom told me at our initial enrollment call. Oliver Nshom said, I could do this for you for free. But if I do it for free, I will not be helping you. Because you will only attract people who will want you to do things for them for free. Instead, I'm going to charge you a premium price so that you can be able to charge others a premium price. I can categorically say that that was a single mental shift I needed to transform my own personal business. By paying a premium price for this training, it gave me the confidence to charge others up to 10 times what I was charging before, and people are actually valuing my services even much more. Thank you, Oliver Nshom.
So let's put it up for Dr. Didier Power. That is it. So it's about result. What I teach is what I practice. What I share with my clients is what I practice. And that's not all. Okay, I wanted to hear from one of my clients here.
I had so much fun learning from Oliver today. His passion is truly contagious, and if you're a speaker looking to tap into some of that passion, but also the strategies to become a speaker, an international speaker, you should definitely attend one of Oliver's talks.
All right. Thank you so much, Anna. Let's put it up for Anna. Great job, great job, great job. Great. Don't move yet. So we have 3 minutes. I want you to see where I started.
I always said, and that's what I said in my previous video. We go to school not to be employed. We go to school because of 2 reasons. The first of such reason is to become creative. And the second is to become innovative. And the third is to see how we can change the world. You see, when you're creative, innovative, automatically you can change the world. Very important.
All right. So you see, it's not a child's play. I've been doing this thing for over 16 years, guys, and I know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. It's not guesswork. It's not ChatGPT. It's a life of 16 years of trying, testing, and seeing the result. And this is actually what.
So when you want to create rapport as a speaker, you must maintain eye contact. Because when you're talking to someone who doesn't look at you directly in the eyes, like the person is not sure what he's saying. And most of the time, when you're not sure what you're saying, you're lying. So eye contact, very, very important. When there's eye contact, there's rapport. When there's rapport, there's bonding. When there's bonding, there's connection. When there's connection, there's transmission of information. So eye contact is very important. As a speaker, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as an executive, maintain eye contact with the people you're talking to there. That's very important.
You see, this is not guesswork. You've seen the result from a baby speaker to a sought after international speaker, global speaker, whatever you want to call. Speaking in India, in Spain, in Singapore, in South Africa, in Rwanda, in the United States, all around the world. So what have I not learned? I'm not like I'm the best in the world, but there is something I can bring on the table that other people might not be able to bring it. And this is what I call my unique speaking proposition. And some people call it the X factor. And I also call it in my own word, speaking capital. Your speaking capital. What is your speaking capital? Your speaking capital is that one single thing that people book you for. It's not about the knowledge. It's not about the experience. It's not about how wide you travel or how much certifications you got or how much degrees you have from school. It's about what is this one reason why people should book you. That's your unique speaking proposition, or what I call your speaking capital. And if you don't have this single thing, most events will never book you. Most conferences will never hire you. Most people will never even book you to coach them. So this is so important. And that is exactly why, together with my team, we have done something amazing, so incredible. I have a huge team from Philippines, India, Cameroon, United States. We have a very big team that will be working very hard, okay, to put this webinar together. And right now, we have been able to put a link, not only speaking conferences, we want to help 10 speakers in this webinar right now to be able to change their floor. Maybe right now you're in the first floor in your speaking career. What can you do to move to the second floor? Some money you're charging, people are not even paying you. You're charging them so much little money. They're not paying you because they don't think like charging them this amount can help them to get their problem solved. Maybe there are people that are waiting for you to charge them higher. That's when they want to show up, and you don't know how to go about this. You struggled. Let me tell you, for those of you who came through my emails and Facebook, whatever, social media, these things, I figured it out. Like, I struggled to figure it out. It's not like all, but for us to be able to push emails out there every single week, all the emails that you read, there's a whole team that work on this thing. And you don't have to go through the number of years I went through trying to figure this out, because I believe that I can help you right now to do it just with the flip of the finger. And that's exactly what we are here today to help you achieve. After you've learned all of these things, there's need for you to take action. And so how do you take action? If you don't take action, how do you get the result? If you don't take action, how do you practice all you've learned if you don't take action? So there's a need for you to take action, my friend. And that's exactly why, together with my team, we have been able to put a very, very interesting package for you. All right. We have people watching from Rwanda, from Cameroon, from South Africa, Nigeria, from United States of America, all around the world. All right. So what have we done? We have been able to put a lot of things together that will help you to figure it out. I mean, you don't have to go through pain. You don't have to struggle at all. You don't have to struggle at all. All you have to do is to do what Oliver did, and you will get the result that Oliver is getting today. All right. I get paid to speak all around the world in seminars, in workshops, in auditoriums, in high schools. Well, how is that possible? How did you figure it out, Oliver? It's simple. All you have to do is to stop wasting time. Like I said, I'm looking for 10 people. Just click the link, all right, that my team is presenting to you. You just have to click the link, book a time on my calendar, and then you just need 1 hour with me. Just 1 hour is enough, okay? And after 1 hour, if you don't get what you're looking for, I will do another session for free, all right? I know what I'm talking about. So I'll be able to work with coaches from all around the world, and the result that I'm getting today is just the power of this 1 hour. You don't have to get it 7 hours like I started doing, and many people get it. I just wanted to get 1 hour of my time sitting with you one-on-one, and then you should be able to experience it for yourself. All right. So the link is right there on the comment section. For those who are watching from YouTube, Facebook, here with me in the stream, wherever you are, just click the link, get to my calendar, book your 1 hour. And this is just 10 people we're looking for. And that's why we normally charge this $500. That's why we're doing it at $400. Okay. So it's the 1 hour is not free. You have to pay for it. And that's why instead of paying $500 like many people do, you just have to pay $400 and we're good to go. So this is for everybody. This is not for everybody, my friend. It's not for everybody. It's just for people who are ready to do the work. It's for people who are ready to change the floor. If you're tired of being on the first floor, second or third floor, you want to go out, get to the next floor. All right. My alarm is telling me that we are done. And so thank you everybody, because it was great time spent together with you. I wish you good luck. I'm looking forward to see you in my calendar. And we have just 24 hours. After 24 hours, we are going to get back to $500 for this 1 hour. Okay, so if you're ready, if you feel like you want to do this, you want to share your story, you want to make a living speaking and sharing your story, let's go. Yes, Mr. Alam, I got you, buddy. We're done. We are done. Thank you. And we are done, friend. Thank you so much. The link of this webinar is still available, so you can watch it again. If you have any question, you can drop your question. If you have any question right now, you can ask. My alarm is telling me that it's time off, and I just want to say thank you everybody for being part of this webinar. I got it. It was a great one. I believe you learned something that you will start practicing it. Thank you, Endam Achu. Thank you, sir. It was a great webinar with you. Thank you, my friend. Awesome. Any question from anybody? I'll answer 3 questions before I go. If there are no questions, then I'll be so excited that the lesson was well understood. All right. My alarm is telling me that Oliver, you have to leave right now. All right. So if there's no question, I'll be grateful, because I love to discipline. I love to respect systems. So if there's no question, then we can call it off. That was a webinar, and we are good to go. So, hey guys, it's Sunday in some part of the world. I wish you a beautiful Sunday ahead. For those who are still on Saturday, I wish you a wonderful weekend and enjoy your Sunday tomorrow with your loved one. And I'm signing off from the beautiful United States of America and the state of Minnesota in the city of Rochester. Okay. So I'm looking forward to see you right on my calendar. Some people are already booking their sessions with me. Congratulations, everybody, and who is booking already there for their calendar. Great job, great job, great job, great job, everybody. And I just want to say a big thank you to some very special people that came in. Prosper with Ian Chinyoy. Thank you for showing up on this podcast, on this webinar. Kayla, Elise, Kayla, thank you. Joe Polt Talks, thank you, Joe, for showing up. And Achu, thank you so much. I really appreciate. Thank you, Ngong Godwill. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate. Thank you so much, Amand Kabanye, for showing up for this particular webinar. I really appreciate. And I wish all of you a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I'm looking forward to see my 10 people on the calendar, even as we kick off with the great part of this game. All right. So I'm going to share with you exactly the game plan on how you can get it going as a keynote speaker or as a coach. All right. So that is it. There, I'm also going to share with you other ways you can get paid from speaking while you're not speaking. All right. We'll talk about kind of products and services you can sell apart from speaking that can get money in your account without you necessarily speaking all the time. And so if that is what you want, I'm looking forward to see you on the other side of the conversation. And special thanks to North, my email marketer from Belgium in Europe, designers, video editors, Aken from Nigeria, graphic designer, Emanuela from Rwanda, and to my Cameroon team. Thank you so much that we made this possible. God bless all of you, and see you at the top.